Happy Saturday, Internet. How's everything going? Before you start crowing or towel throwing, whether it's bluster you're blowing or you're just an easygoing schmo in no need of line towing, forgoing any formalities, let's get to knowing. This is The Loop. In Colorado this past Thursday, James Holmes, the man behind the vicious 2012 attack on a movie theater screening of The Dark Knight Rises, was convicted of 165 different charges, including the murder of 12 innocent people. Dozens of others were wounded in the attack, and Holmes now may face the death penalty come sentencing. The conviction took jurors 13 hours to reach, following over 2 months of witnesses called by the prosecution. The defense tried to paint Holmes as psychotic and legally insane, but 2 state-appointed doctors discounted that, testifying that no matter his mental state, Holmes knew what he was doing and that it was wrong. This conviction comes almost 3 years following the horrible massacre and can hopefully afford his victims some peace. 28-year-old Chicago native Sandra Bland departed for a new job in Texas on July 9th. On July 12th, she was arrested for, quote, the assault of a public servant during a traffic stop in Waller County, Texas. She was found dead the next day in her jail cell. Bland's arrest was recorded by a bystander, and the video reveals that she was not struggling, but was vocally protesting the police's use of force, including slamming her head into the ground. In jail, Miss Bland asked the staff about making a phone call just 1 hour before she was found asphyxiated, supposedly by self-imposed hanging. However, her family deeply questions that account, saying that their daughter had no history of depression or suicidal tendencies, and that she was killed by members of the police or by parties unknown. This has prompted the hashtags What Happened to Sandy Bland and Justice for Sandy as debate rages over what really happened. The Texas Rangers have been called in to investigate her death. Ireland continues to cement its status as one of the most LGBT+ friendly countries in the world this week with the passing of the Gender Recognition Bill. The bill, which passed late on Wednesday, allows transgender individuals over the age of 18 to change their legal gender without intervention. Ireland is now the 3rd country in Europe with such a law in place, following in the steps of Denmark and Malta. This follows the gay marriage referendum vote just a few months ago, where Ireland legalized gay marriage via popular vote. Though the law allows people over the age of 18 to freely and legally change their gender, people aged 16 to 18 still require parental approval, medical observation, and a court order to have their gender legally changed, and people under the age of 18 have no legal recourse whatsoever. This is a small but crucial step on the path to dignity for the trans community. In Australia this week, Environment Minister Greg Hunt announced that 2 million feral cats will have to be hunted down and killed to protect wildlife threatened by the feline population. The idea of 2 million cats being killed is a vile one, but feral cats are in fact partially responsible for the extinction of 27 different mammal species and threaten 120 other species of animal, including bandicoots, numbats, betongs, and the boobook owl. Felines are not native to the country, as they were brought over by settlers between the 17th and 19th centuries, and their population growth has severely warped the natural balance of the Australian ecosystem. The so-called cull will use baiting and trapping to remove the animals, and officials encourage cat owners to spay and neuter their pets, as well as to not allow them to hunt outside. Is a type of seaweed the next superfood sensation? That's what researchers from Oregon State University are banking on. The seaweed, known as dulse, is packed with twice as many minerals as kale, but when fried, the researchers say dulse tastes shockingly like fresh, crispy bacon. Now, dulse has been used as a pet food for sea life, but has never been served in the human market. A new strain of dulse is the hardiest to date and could be farmed for human consumption. At this time, however, no commercial dulse operations exist in the US. And finally, what was popular in media this week? In music, Meek Mill's Dreams Worth More Than Money clung to the top of the Billboard 200, while in TV, Suits had the most downloaded episode, and Homeland Season 4 was the most downloaded season on iTunes. And at the box office, Minions opened to a spectacular $115 million gross last weekend. And that's everything that you need to know about your world this week. So this weekend, when you're staying off of Twitter until you can see Ant-Man for yourself, entertain yourself with knowledge, because until next Saturday, you're in the loop. I'm Matt Lieberman. Thanks for watching.
Nothing's gonna stop me. Not this year. Not this year. Hell no. Get away from me.
Anything from the math part of my life, I forgot on purpose.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not proud of it.